Namaste, everyone from India. Very happy to be here again with you. And today I'm very excited. A lot of things are happening, and we can choose to be in despair, we can choose to be in negativity, we can choose to be in judgment. Or we can use this moment as a tool for transformation. And this is what I would like to speak to you. I would like to address two very important wisdom, let's say, compilations in the Indian culture, which are the Bhagavad Gita and the Yoga Sutras. The Bhagavad Gita is 18 chapters of a huge compilation called the Mahabharata. And Mahabharata means the great India. And this Mahabharata was transmitted from generation to generation for 800 years. It's amazing because in those times they didn't have like scripture writing, so they were like transmitting this orally from generation to generation. And it's so inspiring to know that in this culture all these human issues about power, about introspection, about war, about fear, about anger, about revenge, all these human issues have been already addressed. And what can I say? We can look back and take so much wisdom from these sages, and we can observe how we are reacting to the present circumstances and say, I can choose from my power, I can choose from my awareness, or I can go and just completely just be absolutely confused in my mind and lose my center and be lost. And this is the challenge. So the Bhagavad Gita has a lot of important and amazing advice for us in these times of change. And I will be starting a course next week with Spain and with Mexico, with the Yoga Sutras and the Bhagavad Gita, and I know they're going to be in Spanish, but eventually I hope to be able to do them also in English for many of you. So what is the point of understanding these teachings? And the Bhagavad Gita, the first things it says to us is pay attention. Is wake up, stop complaining, because when we are complaining and we're like, I don't like this, why is this happening, this should be different than it is, what is going on, we are missing the opportunity to see what is in front of us. So Arjuna is in this complaining mode. Arjuna is our hero, one of our heroes in the Bhagavad Gita, and he says, I don't want to do this, I know I am very good warrior and everything, but I don't want to do this. It's too much for me. It's just beyond my comfort zone. And Krishna, who is the charioteer, Krishna comes to Arjuna and starts speaking truth to him. And sometimes when we are being spoken the truth, we become very we start questioning everything. So in all the chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, there's a lot of questions from Arjuna to God, because Krishna is this avatar, this incarnation, and avatars have been sent to earth when there was a lot of chaos and a lot of uncertainty and confusion. So these advices apply to us in the sense that we can make of this quarantine amazing opportunity to pay attention to what is really important. Or we can get lost in distractions, or we can just completely, fall into our fear and our sadness and our frustration, and put some band-aids on what is happening and say, it's going to be better, and go into denial and say, I don't like it this way, I would like it to be like it was before when I had my yoga studio and my students, and I'm sorry to say this, but all that is gone. Life after this crisis won't ever be the same. And from some of us, it means that we will have to reinvent ourselves. And how can we do that without the help of our teachers? It's so hard, but when we have teachers, when we have a spiritual practice, that's an amazing tool for these times of change. In these times, I think we are all realizing that money does nothing for us. I mean, we have money here in India, but we cannot go to the supermarket. There's not enough food for all. Everything is shut down. I cannot even go to have a cup of coffee in my cafeteria. I cannot even go to my hairstylist. Nothing. There's nothing to do. There's only home and all the chores that we are all doing home, because there's not even like the maid coming to the home, and we are all realizing that we have been so pampered and so spoiled, all of us, and that we had to grow, and that the earth also needs to breathe. And this is a huge teaching for all of us, because a lot of layers are going to be unfolding every day, like an onion that is peeling. And we're going to feel all these emotions coming out. And if we decide to act from these emotions or from these places of fear and confusion, we're going to make bad decisions. So one other thing that the Bhagavad Gita says is choose wisely. And sometimes choosing wisely means not taking action. And for a little while, just pausing and saying, I'm not going to act unless I am really sure what I'm doing. And it's not the time for judging anyone. It's the time to take the right action ourselves, an action that we can live with. And this is the teaching of the Gita. The teaching of the Gita is pay attention, choose wisely, and stop complaining. Stop complaining like a little boy, like a little girl. Oh, I don't want it to be like this. I like it this way. Why are you acting this way? You should act this way. It's not the time to tell anyone what to do. It's the time to take responsibility for our actions and do the best we can with the circumstances that we have. Some of us have so much privilege. We have a roof above our head. We have food. We have water. We have a place to sleep. We even have internet. We are the millionaires in this crisis. Some people are dying. Some people are going through so much grief. Some people don't have even the basic needs. And this is happening here in India. It's very sad what is happening. Some people are sick. Some people are losing people in their family. Some people are going through extreme changes in their financial situations. Some people are not being able to cope mentally. So the Bhagavad Gita says, stop, wake up, pay attention, don't rush into action. The right action will come by itself. And once you take the action, you will surrender the fruits of this action. That means that whatever you do, you're not doing it to get anything in return, because these are times to give it to each other, to be kind to each other. It's not the time to make profit of any kind, if I can just be clear. It's time to be in close touch with our integrity, because the new world that is being born comes from that space of purity and innocence inside each human being. That's the new awareness. That's the new world that is being born. We cannot bring into this new awareness the old paradigm of selfishness and me first, and whatever you do, I don't care, you need to. No, we are being born as a community. The new Buddha is being said that is a Sangha. It's a community of love, it's a community of support, it's a community based on spirit. And then the other important advice comes from the Yoga Sutras. The Yoga Sutras were compiled by a sage named Patanjali, and his work was to bring into 196 aphorisms the most important advice regarding our minds in times of change, which is always in this human predicament. And if we try to just keep things like, I don't want this to change, this is the first thing that is going to completely change. So change is the only basic in life. Anything that you hold on to is going to go. So whatever comes, you let it in. Whatever goes, you let it go. This is the game of of life. Whatever pulsates towards you, you open yourself to it. Whatever leaves, you surrender it. And we are all surrendering in these times of change our plans. We are surrendering our lifestyles. We are surrendering who we thought we were. And it's amazing because we're going to be able to start with a clean slate. Who am I? Why is my mind working like this? Why is my mind getting caught in all this ignorance and attachment and fear? Why am I facing all these obstacles inside? How can I clear my consciousness? How can I be more present with whatever is happening? How can I be more present with others? This is the question right now. It's not about like save myself and whatever, I don't care about anyone else. It's me first. It's time to let that selfishness go. It's not time for self-absorption at all. It's time to be in connection to our common humanity. And in that awareness, we're going to be able to take the right action when the moment comes. Right now, the right action is to stay home and go within. And once the lockdown opens, we don't know when that is going to happen. We are going to be created enough to give birth to ourselves in this new world. And we cannot take anything from a past life into this new reality. It's super powerful. If you think about it, it's super powerful also for the children that are going through this transition, because their lives will never be the same. I think of my own children. Oh my God, you know, they are lucky to be here, and I know they have all the tools inside of them to go through whatever life brings them, because they were born in the wisdom and the awareness of yoga. Yoga is the path to wake up from this dream that life has to give us what we want. Life is there to challenge us. Life is there to put us in uncomfortable places so we can truly tap into our potential. And these two beautiful, incredible teachings of the Bhagavad Gita and the Yoga Sutras are going to give us so much awareness and discrimination, because these are times to engage into what is valuable for us. It's not time to distract ourselves and lose time in gossips and in judgments and in it's time to be really present for whatever is going to come to us. We don't know, the virus could come to us and we need to be ready, or it could come to people that are close to us, in our families, in our communities. Anything is possible right now, and when everything is possible, we are able to tap into our infinite awareness. So I'm very happy to recommend that you go back to the basics. Go back to the basics of your sutras. Go back to this incredible Bhagavad Gita. Remember, the Gita is not religious. The Gita is teaching for the whole humanity, especially in these times of change. And also yoga. Yoga is a science. Yoga is not a religion. I really want to say that, because no matter where you are, you can practice. And no matter how you feel, you can practice. No matter what age you are, you can practice. You can always breathe and try to go deeper, deeper than the crazy mind that is trying to say, oh my God, what is happening, what is happening? Let it all go. Let it all go, and whatever comes back to us is what is meant for us. If we hold on, we're going to suffer unnecessarily. We already experience a lot of currents of energy moving through us, and we can be open and available so grace can move us in the right direction. Or we can be bitter and angry and say, I don't want to move. You're going to be moved anyway. So let go. Let go with trust. Let go with joy. Let go in your wisdom. Let go in awareness. Let go in peace. That's the science, the beautiful science of yoga for the whole world. Thank you so much. Love from India to everyone. Namaste.